Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is a random stream. I finally got my ability to live stream back, so I got that community guideline strike taken care of. Thank you very much to Trusted Flagger on Twitter, who was able to send it back for a renewal for a way for me to to definitely be a little bit better, a little bit better. What's going on, Joey? What's going on, Rachel? What's going on, Billy? How you guys doing? And Riley, good to see you there. Yeah, no, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. I'm having some camera issues today. Additionally, OBS has been crashing when I stream. I think predominantly because I'm using my camera. So there's some weird shit happening. There is some weird stuff happening when it comes to my Twitter or when it comes to YouTube and streaming through OBS. I don't quite know what the hell is going on, so I'm trying to figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna be rocking this thing orally tonight. That's right, you're gonna get a little mundane mad oral action. I hope your ears and maybe other parts of your body are ready too, because I, as a rotund person, unlike DJ Khaled, don't mind eating out. But the point here, friends, is that it's just gonna be a chill hangout. Might open it up in the Discord. Let's see what's going on there. Let people know that I am streaming. I am streaming. Let them know, because this way we can figure it all out. And okay. Oops, balls. You know what? If I could type correctly, it's like I type at 85 words a minute, but if I can't see the keyboard, then it becomes a thing. It becomes a very bad thing. Oh, you were in the Rizzo, you were in the band Mayor. Jim sends his regards. Why? What did Jim do? Kylor, you were banned because you threatened to kill a mod. So that's why you were banned. You were banned. Hey, Ranger. I got sent some screenshots of people talking lots of trash about me on a Star Wars thread, and your name popped up. What's going on with that? What's going on with that, buddy? Oh, pal. So. Oh yeah, me talking to Ape. Ape and I have had that dance before. We'd had that dance before where we'd gone back and forth on that. That's why I knew the argument he was gonna make. I totally knew he was gonna make that argument. It was fine with me. I don't mind it so much with him. I have nothing against him. What's going on, Ronnie? How are you, man? Thank you very much, Jim. What's going on, Excel? UODS or ODS. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I'm about halfway through. The I'm about I'm about halfway through God of War, I think. I don't want to say where I'm at in the game in case people are. Oh, I got like no, I got the Black Rune. I got the Black Rune. I don't know how far that is into the game. I think it's pretty far. It feels pretty far, but I got the Black Rune. So there's that. What's going on, Candid? Yeah. Okay. So the whole Jihad Jarbo thing. All right. So apparently this is over on Ralph's stream, right? They got that thought Aaron from Ice Poseidon, and they were messing with her, and they were telling her that like I was a person who runs Kiwi Farms. They were like Matt Jarbo. They call him Jihadi Jarbo. And so I was getting all these messages last night from people saying, get on the kill stream, get on the kill stream. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what do y'all want? And I kind of tuned in for a half second and kind of caught wind of that one. And then I changed my name to Jihadi Jarbo today for a little bit. It's back to the regular name now. I thought that was pretty funny, just to play with the meme. You know, these things, you got to lean into the memes. You got to lean into the memes. So there's definitely that. I don't mind. Look, here's the thing. You can't do this job. There's what is it, man? Fuck. There's always going to be shit talking. It always happens, right? There's always a lot of crap that goes on. It was Corinne and not Aaron. Oh, Corinne. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Corinne. What's going on, Jake? How are you, man? So I'm not stalking you. There's someone who doesn't follow me who is sending me all these crazy comments about Star Wars, right? Like all these comment sections from videos where, I mean, the conversation moves into the Illuminati and the Jewish control and Disney's eventual takeover by perverting children. I mean, these are like the crazy shit I'm being sent. It's pretty funny. I'm like, this is a fucking movie, right? It's a fucking movie, you know. So there's that. Skyfire, thank you very much for the appreciated. It's just say Jihadi Jarbo is catchy as fuck. It would be funny, Billy, if I was in fact like Armenian or Middle Eastern or somewhere along that line where I could play that off. I'm like French Canadian. It doesn't really have the same kick to it, so to speak. It would be more along the lines of like, oh, hey, it's Jihadi. It's a really horrible wrestling name that would just be completely lambasted for cultural appropriation. And in that particular field, that particular idea, then I should probably keep it as being Jihadi Jarbo. It's pretty funny. PUBG Mobile. I haven't played PUBG Mobile yet. I haven't played it. I need to. No, I don't need to play it. I don't want to play it on mobile. Why would you want to play on mobile? I don't want to play that game on mobile. What's going on, Abaddon? How are you, buddy? So there's definitely a lot that's going on in terms of YouTube stuff. It's been a weird week. There's been some leaked audio clips of a private conversation I had when I was dead tired of making their way out there. I am pretty positive there is still more to come on that. Oh well, not much I can really do about it. So yeah. Thank you very much, Nonpartisan. Yeah, I can stream. I can stream finally back on this one. You run your entire channel off your smartphone. Android Microgamer. Yeah, dude, I used to do that too. Ronnie, I haven't smoked weed in about 7 months just because of my daughter. I'm with her a lot, so I don't want to get high. Yeah, I heard about Bering getting taken down. And you know what's funny too is it's the whole thing with the CBD oil. I was reading an article yesterday that YouTube is also cracking down on what the fuck is it called? They're cracking down on Jesus fuck me Christ vaping, right? They're cracking down on vaping. So Rattlesnake, I'm not a huge Brittany Venti fan, but I did see that video about Shuwu, and that was pretty funny. Yeah. It's the owner of Kiwi Farms. No, I'm not the owner of Kiwi Farms, MC Whammer. I'm not that. What's going on, Rizzo? How are you, buddy? I'm just saying it's more along the lines of just like, yeah, I haven't smoked pot in a while, but I need to. But YouTube's going after vaping, right? They're going after vaping. They're going after like nootropics channels. And the thing is, they'll probably end up reinstating Bering's channel, but at the same time, maybe not, because they took down Pimp Monk's channel, and Pimp Monk was talking about Kratom, right? So it's like, I mean, they're really going after this shit. And I don't know if CBD oil is it THC based? Is it federally legal? You know, I mean, that's a tough one right now, man. Like, I'm all for legal weed. I'm all for it. And I think that YouTube is just being a dick pretty much. So there's that. Vaping is gay. YouTube is anti-LGBT. Why is Tim Pool around? He has many CBD sponsored videos. Maybe they haven't got to Tim Pool yet. He's not that big. He's not as big of a channel as Bering. So maybe people should tweet at Tim Pool and be like, "Yo, dog, you got CBD ads. You may want to back up with that shit. You may not want to do that." But no, I think that's it's hemp based and legal. Okay, but it could be looked at as being part of that same family. So there's that. I don't know. My volume's low. Okay, hold on. That should be better. I have to keep adjusting my Yeti. So that should be a little bit better. So press F for Bering. I'll press F for Bering. Let's see. Garrick, did I hear about the Tommy Lahren incident? I did, man. I did. It's not like, the thing is, Tommy Lahren has a lot of really dumb like thoughts in her head. I mean, she is a thought. Let's be fair. She's a Fox News thought. That's what she is. but she doesn't deserve to be assaulted and attacked in public, right? Like, you can just, pointing and laughing will probably do a lot more to her ego than going over and pouring water on her head. And the good thing was water, not piss or cum. If it was cum, that would be bad, right? That would be bad. So I'm just saying, CBD is fucking snake oil. Anyone pushing that shit should be ashamed. Chelsea, I don't know. You seem to be anti a lot of things, like me buying Battlefield 5. Yeah, I saw your comment. I know it was you. But to clarify that point, though, I said that the reveal was bad, not that the game's gonna be bad. So I'll probably still get it because it's Battlefield. Thoughty Laren. Yeah, let's call her Thoughty Laren. Enrique, I did stream on Twitch. Okay, the problem with so here's where I'm finding this situation right now, right? Enrique, this is where I'm at, just in case. So I've got 3 channels that I run. I've got this one, I've got $3 Theater, and I've got the Mundane Mysteries. Well, Forbidden Knowledge, which is going to kind of turn into Mundane Mysteries, and there's a special secret super channel that's going to be coming around, but that's no streaming on that channel. That's all pre-recorded content all the time, but it's going to fill a need, so to speak. And so what I've been doing this last week is I've been changing my sleep schedule to get up about 7 o'clock in the morning, go to bed around midnight. So this won't be going on for like super long tonight. Go to bed around midnight, get up about 7, and then around 9:30 a.m. Do the movie news stream, right? And I was doing that, but I've been having these camera issues, or this OBS problem where shit keeps fucking up. And that my camera decides it keeps wanting to, the camera decided that it wants to like stop autofocusing on me correctly. So it just keeps going out of focus. So I'm having these problems, right? So the daddy channel is pretty much gone. What's going on between me and Shu? Okay. Inky Binky, fine. I will fill you in on what's going on between me and Shu. And I would tell this right to their face too. I don't like either of them. I haven't for quite some time. I've muted both on Twitter for the last probably 5 months or so. I find them to be utterly annoying. I find them to be just vapid most of the time, because their entire online presence, for the vast most part, revolves around their relationship, and it's very much a codependent relationship with one another. And I'm not too sure who's the sub and who's the dom in many cases, and so it becomes this. And ultimately, none of that even remotely fucking matters. To be fair, none of it even remotely matters. But I don't like them as people. I just don't like them as people. And so I was in a call. This is one of the things that got leaked out there, and I was really, really, really tired, and I was talking about the VidCon trip with them, with the people in the call, and I made a comment, a joke about Skeptic, that I don't really remember making, to be honest with you, because I heard this, I re-listened to the audio, and the story was the same. It was all about their behavior at VidCon. June came back and said that she was an introvert, whatever. Brittany Venti's video pretty much blows that out of the fucking water. She was not an introvert, I don't think. Everything I've ever encountered with her, both online and in public, have not been introverted in nature. So there's that. And yeah, Billy, right. Relationships are meant to be codependent. This is a little bit like more of a sub-dom thing. So I'm just not a fan. I just don't like them as people. Like, I tried. I honest to God tried. But the whole, like, Skeptic clone thing from last year was pretty annoying. And a lot of the other stuff has just been, they're their own side of things, and that's totally fine. Well, anyway, this audio leaked out there, and it is what it is. So, I was more entertaining in those clips than ever. So what you're saying, I need to get really fucking hammered and then talk, or get really tired and talk. Look, ultimately, it boils down to this, Epic. I don't really necessarily feel like I have to always be that person. I could be that person, not a problem. I could easily start cussing out everyone, calling them all fucking stupid ass names and attacking them. And that's that. And like, don't get me wrong. There are absolute times when I want to, right? There are times where I want to, and part of me, I don't think I can ever like let myself fully go to that place. And that's a personal thing. I like to be in control. I like to be reserved. That's just me. But there's that. So you know, it's more or less like I could get people who it's just shit talking is all it really is. The whole Blair White thing that I actually kind of felt bad about because in the way that the way that it played out was not my intention. Legitimately, my intention was like, I don't think that Blair White is an unattractive person. But I thought that before she had the surgery. And what happened essentially was someone had showed me a picture of Blair as I was talking, where I guess like she added freckles, and then it just kind of sparked the commentary that I'm not a fan of plastic surgery. I'm just not a fan of plastic surgery. Like, you know, little lifts and spreads and tweaks and whatever. That's fine. But I've lived in LA and I've seen a lot of really horrible plastic surgery, and a lot of people just go under the knife to look differently for whatever reason. And I'm just not a fan. I prefer all natural overall. And then the joke about the seppuku with a frisbee. Anyone here ever read realultimatepower.net back in like the early 2000s, late 90s? It was a website all about being a ninja, right? And there's a whole gag on there about how to commit seppuku with a frisbee. So it's like, I bring that up sometimes when I'm just trying to like tell a really horrible joke, but I was so fucking tired that it just did not come across as, for one, a succinct point, and two, anything funny. So there was that. It was really dumb shit. It was really stupid shit. And Blair forgave me. Yeah. So it's fine. Thoughts on PewDiePie video on Alinity the victim. I haven't watched the video yet. I haven't watched the video on Alinity, and I haven't watched that yet. But the same with World Class Bullshitters. I don't watch World Class Bullshitters because I think they're full of shit, so I don't watch them. You haven't watched Shoe Worski or Blair since the Spurgat at VidCon. I should go down on Blair if I'm really sorry. Listen, listen, Thor. I know what you're trying to do there. I get it. I'm on to you, sir. I'm on to you. And no, that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, real fucking old school reference right there, man. You know, I'm 36. I've been around the web for a while. You know, I've seen some memes. Been around for some epic shit. They hear about the racist lawyer that got a Mexican party. Yeah. I heard, man. I did hear about that lawyer. You know, like it's like, for one, I do not agree at all with his methods. You know, the guy came out, he's like, I swear to God, I'm not racist. But I also don't agree with like Sargon just kind of giving the dude a pass. You know, like, okay, so being an English speaker and living in Southern California, like, I understand where this guy was coming from. There's times where it's like, there are places in the San Fernando Valley, I'm not even kidding you can go to, and like, everything's in Spanish. All the building signs are in Spanish. I mean, the billboards are in Spanish. All the advertising's in Spanish. Everything's in Spanish. And it feels like you're not in a place, in America. You're not in America. And it's like, not to say that everyone there doesn't speak English, but it's like the entire place. And we're talking like a whole little city. It's like, you know, little Mexico in there and whatnot. And ultimately, you know, this is a free country. They can do what they want there. But I personally hold the belief that we should establish English as our national language. And that has everything to do, not with trying to subvert people from having a language or celebrating their culture, but from a communication perspective. And I mean, you know, doing it like the French do in Canada, where it's like one side English, one side France. The only times I get really kind of bitchy, and this is more of a nitpick than anything, when it comes to like having something in English and in Spanish, is when I'm at Disneyland and you're getting on like Haunted Mansion, right? And they got Vincent Price and he's kind of setting the scene, and it's all like, please keep your arms and legs inside the, you know, the ride at all times, right? And then it's in like this creepy voice, and then it just cuts dead, and then it says the exact same thing in Spanish, but with no inflection and no attempt to even remarkably make it part of the story. It just completely removes you from the experience. And it's like, okay, really? There are more people here from Asia than Mexico. Like, what are you doing, Disneyland? So there's that. So Dan Floyd of Extra Credits is leaving. I didn't know that. So am I interested in seeing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? 100%. 100%. I want to see it. National City comes to mind. Yeah, I've been to National City quite a few times. Did I go to Vegas for some juice orgy? No, no. There is the orgy in Vegas that was going to happen. The attempt at the world's largest orgy actually ended up getting canceled. No, the hotel pulled out. What's going on, Latoya? How are you? Thank you very much for the compliment. We kind of already observe our regional languages per the states, just not officially. Yeah, I guess so. Do I think Solo is going to do well? I do think Solo is going to do well. I also think that Solo is going to open lower than the other movies. It's going to pull in. They're estimating between 140 and 150 now, whereas original estimates were up to 170. And the thing is, though, is like Star Wars has established itself for the last 3 Christmases as being a Christmas franchise. Having 2 Star Wars movies within 6 months is kind of weird. But hey, when it's Marvel, it's like totally all for it, right? But the reason why Marvel works in the way that Star Wars isn't is because of the fact that these are not connected. If it was like episode 8 and then episode 9 6 months later, that's a different story, because now you're getting conclusion to a story. This is like episode 8, then let's go back 30 years to to Solo origins. Like, that's gonna throw people off. So the excitement, the anticipation for that next round of storytelling, tying into a larger, overall, greater narrative that you've spent years building into and all this kind of stuff, that's going to be that's a problem, right? That's going to be a problem here. So essentially, that's where things are with that one. Have I watched Atlanta? I haven't watched Atlanta. I want to. Hotel pulled out. No, Martin. That's an article I read, and that clearly is like the title they used. The double entendre was legit. Was truly legit. So you're a pass holder at Disney World, and surprisingly not much Spanish besides monorail and trance. Yeah, no, I mean, there's I'm not against Spanish. I have no problem with Spanish. My favorite food in the world is Mexican, right? One of my all-time favorite experiences happened in Mexico, and no, it had nothing to do with hookers, donkeys, peyote, or anything that you'd find in Tijuana. This was 8 years ago, or 6 years ago, and I was down in Ensenada, right? I went down there. I was on a cruise, and we took a little trip to La Bufadora, which is a blowhole, a naturally forming blowhole on the side of this cliff. And there's this whole like marketplace, tourist trap, and whatever. But at the very beginning of the marketplace, there's like this little rickety cantina. It's just one woman by herself, rocking cantina and shit. And I went up there and I got a Corona, and I love Coronas. They're my favorite beer. And yeah, I know, you beer aficionados. Coronas are just piss. Fuck you, live in California. So I got a Corona, an ice cold Corona, with a lime, which she gave me some shit over that it was a gringo thing. And I'm like, whatever. And we're right on this cliffside, right? And it's a beautiful spring day. It's like, I just turned 30. I was trying to like figure out my life. I'm just trying to figure out things going on in this world. And I sit down in this little rickety lawn chair, and I'm just looking out into the Pacific. Beautiful, cloudless day. And I'm just sitting there drinking a beer by myself, listening to the wind, listening to the waves, and just like chilling. Right. And it was such a nice, relaxing moment. It was such this amazing little moment in my life that I love, because there was no one there bothering me, no one there distracting me. I could just sit there and just nurse my beer and just think. And that's what I love, man. I thought that was a great time. Ensenada has some good fish tacos. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I had a couple tacos there, and then I had a couple margaritas there. And then we went to this one restaurant, and they had like a slide for children, and I got hammered on margaritas and decided the slide was faster than the stairs. Almost broke it, didn't, ended up hurting my leg pretty bad, but it was cool. The alcohol numbed the pain. So there's definitely that. Let's see, Casa Bonita. I got to go to Denver for that shit, man. I have to, one of these days I need to get my ass out to Denver. Ronnie, just hit @ and then type the first name of the person you're trying to talk to. So there's definitely that. But okay, so let's see here. We've got, if anyone wants to jump in on the chat, you can go to the Discord, discord.me/mundane Matt, and then go into the green room, and I can pull some people down. Chipotle or Moe's? Well, are you talking Moe's? Are we talking Moe's, the clam chowder place? So Jesus Christ, Martin, what the fuck? I got banned, Thomas. I got a community guideline strike, and I ended up getting it taken away. So I'm back here. I'm back here now. Back here doing the thing. So there's definitely that. I like being live. Live's a lot of fun. I need to figure out a better schedule and everything else. That's going to be a big thing. So those public bathrooms that make you pay and administer toilet paper out front, I've never seen one of those. I've never seen one of those at all. So I don't go. What's with YouTube's optimization bullshit? What do you mean, Jose? You gotta fill me in. Moe's Southwest Grill. I don't know what that is. But Chipotle, I don't get the Chipotle bullshit. Like, and people are like, oh, Chipotle fucking makes you clean, crap out your butt and shit. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Drunken Peasants Underground? Let's see. Let me just make you a mod. So yeah, essentially, I just end up like, I go to Chipotle occasionally. I'll tell you why I go to Chipotle. I go to Chipotle because where I live, there's just not good Mexican food. And if you're asking tacos from Taco Bell or homemade tacos, it's always homemade tacos. Always. Homemade tacos, way better, than Taco Bell. Taco Bell, like, I don't mind Taco Bell. If I'm in a pinch, I'll have Taco Bell, but I would prefer to go elsewhere. My girlfriend is always like, let's go to Taco Bell. She likes Taco Bell. And I'm all like, let's go to Subway. Because there's like a Subway right next to Taco Bell. And she's like, no, I don't want to go to Subway. I'm like, let's go to Subway. It's healthier. It's healthier than Taco Bell. So there's that. How do I see you when all you see is the logo? Oh, Latoya, I'm looking at the chat. I have the chat window up on my PC, so I can read the chat that way. I need to do that. I usually have the chat on the screen. I'm still trying to figure it all out. So, all right. I see we got a couple people, Nonpartisan Media and Rizzo. I'm going to put on my headphones, and then we'll do this thing. But, yeah, if you guys got questions, feel free to ask pretty much anything you want. I'm more just hanging out doing this. Okay. Until I get tired and I want to go to bed, and then I got to get up in the morning and do it again for the movie news. I don't know if you guys have seen my my $3 Theater channel. It's pretty awesome. What do I order at Subway? Because I'm cheap, Porcelain, and I mean like really cheap, Subway offers a foot-long steak, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich 24/7 on flatbread for a grand total of $6.99. That is not bad for a foot-long, and I quite like it because I like steak, I like cheese, I like flatbread, I like eggs, and I like putting extra olives because, oh yeah. So there's that. Is In-N-Out as good as people say? Parts of In-N-Out are good. I think In-N-Out is kind of like overrated a little bit, which people in California will definitely get mad at me for saying that. But I've gotten food poisoning from In-N-Out before, so fuck you, I have a different opinion. Thoughts on diversity in comics? No, I have no problem with him, man. I like him. I want to get him into a call. I just haven't done that yet. Domino's or Pizza Hut? Dude, straight up Pizza Hut, man. Pizza Hut. So I mean, no, there's this place not far from me I like to go to called Mod Pizza, and it's basically Subway for pizza. It's fantastic. Design your own pizza and shit for like $8, like for a fucking full-size pizza. I'm currently on Weight Watchers, so it's like I can't go there, which is again pretty crappy. The fries at In-N-Out are good. I haven't gone to the Habit. No, wait, have I gone to the Habit? I think I went to the Habit one time. It was pretty good. I will say what I really like though is, I really, really, really like fucking, oh god damn it, Five Guys. I like Five Guys a lot. Okay, so let's see here. Best Mexican food in San Diego. Man, this is so, it's so hard. Okay, listen, I'll tell you, I like Sombreros because Sombreros is 24/7 and there's a whole bunch of locations and you know what you're going to get. I will say though, if you want to talk the best red sauce in San Diego, hands down it's Sombreros. Hands down, their red sauce is the best. I have not been able to find anyone else to replicate that shit. I will go there and I will just buy their red sauce and then use it for like a lot of other shit, right? Like there's that. But if I want to talk like carne asada fries, like Sombreros has got good carne asada fries, but those are kind of small serving sizes. Whereas Santana's, that's the only place I've been to where their carne asada fries defeated me, by meaning I couldn't finish it. Like, and I can put away some shit. You've seen me, I'm fat. I can put away some stuff, and they defeated me. In to which case now, when I go back to San Diego next, I'm going to be like, that's where I want to go. So I haven't heard about. Yeah. I'll get Rizzo first. I'll pull in Rizzo. All right, Rizzo.
Really
Hey,
playing.
what's up, Rizzo? You're currently on whatever the hell I named this show.
Oh, what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going pretty good, dude. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I wanted to ask if you had a chance to watch Deadpool 2 yet, if it's not gonna mess up your $3 theater.
Yeah, I have watched it. I've watched it like twice now. I just haven't fucking reviewed it. Like, and I don't know why I haven't reviewed it. Like, I sat down, what was it, Sunday or whatever? I don't know. Did you see the videos I did, the before Deadpool and after Deadpool?
No, like I said, I work a lot, and it's hard for me to catch up on a lot of YouTube stuff. So I try
I
to make
understand. I understand that completely. I understand that. There's a lot of content to watch, right?
yeah, and
Always a lot of
I had
content.
it. Yeah, I had it for. I was off the way I work. Uh, like like oil refinery is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Exxons and stuff. So I do turnarounds in those. So I might work for 6 to 8 weeks at a time, then have a couple of weeks off and work another 6 to 8 weeks and have a couple of weeks off. And so I try to binge everything I can on like those little couple of weeks that I have off. But I work, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
No, I understand that, dude. I understand that. Like, I mean, what I work also about the same amount, but I don't
Yeah.
clearly nowhere near as physically exhausting of a life as you have. So obviously there's
Yeah.
that. So you've
I
got
almost
you
I almost
you
took
gotten beat
a I
there.
almost took a job. I almost took a job in Washington. There was a
Nice.
power plant. There's a power plant up there, and I really, really wanted to go, but I'm on a job right now where it's long term. It's like a year and a half, and it's less pay, but it's at home. So
The thing is though, sometimes you gotta take that into account, right? You gotta really take that into account when you want to, like figure out like sometimes being near home is always good, and it beats being further away.
yeah, and it's also the getting health insurance and stuff like that. I can take care of stuff with my wife and everything instead of bouncing from company to company. You can't keep a solid, health insurance if there's a family emergency or anything.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's people always give me shit like, "Why aren't you married? You got a kid. Why aren't you married?"
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
And I'm
have
all
gotten
like,
married.
because fucking what's it called? The health insurance with my is a lot more manageable when you're not married.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
so
Actually,
there's that.
I actually had an issue if you kind of want to get into something kind of deep. So a couple of years ago, me and my wife were married, and she ended up becoming pregnant. Well, the thing was, I didn't have her under my health insurance at the time, and it would have come out that I would have had to pay out of pocket to have this baby, and out of pocket would have come up to being like $30,000, and
Jeez.
yeah, we weren't ready and stuff like that, so we decided to have an abortion. Even though I consider myself a conservative and stuff like that, but or I'm a libertarian, so I'm pro gay marriage, pro choice, but I'm fiscally conservative. But it's just the thing that we were put in a bind. Like she couldn't get on the Medicaid and stuff like that. It was really, and like a doctor would not see us without insurance. So it put us in a bind, and we were young, we didn't know what to do, and it was a hard situation.
No, I understand that, man. Like, and I'm really sorry you went through that. That's not something I don't think anyone ever wants to go through. Um, but that's the part of the problem when it comes to the whole healthcare situation is the way our system's designed is just it. I think it puts more people in those binds than not, and sometimes it's just
Yeah, because I mean, I made too much money. I made way too much money for I was making 80, 100,000, but I couldn't. So we couldn't get the Medicaid and stuff like that. And but to come out of pocket 30 grand, and I didn't have anything saved up at the time. It would have just So we made the decision, and I think it was maybe for the best. But there's still parts of me where I'm really upset about it, and I think about it. But
yeah,
it is what
man.
it is.
I mean, like I'll tell you this, like when my girlfriend like was like I'm pregnant, I was like, oh shit, because like I just wasn't in that mindset of like having a kid,
Yeah.
and we were in the process of moving, and it was like right at the like it was in March of last year when the adpocalypse was
Oh
like
yeah, so you
right when
had
it
a lot
started.
of stuff kind of, you're trying to figure out your income and everything like that or something.
Yeah. it's and then she was quitting her job where she was making over 70 grand a year.
Ooh.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, we're fucked. We're so fucked. And, so then, I mean, but you just kind of find a way to work through it, and not every, like Washington has actually a really good like Medicaid setup
Mm,
here. I mean, like, our daughter was completely covered. The birth was entirely covered by the
yeah.
state and everything else. And like, I think it was like 3 nights in the hospital. Our daughter gets pediatrician care for covered by the state. And it's all just because of like the way that the income system, even like, like the amount of money that I make actually like is really not as, it's
So
not
do y'all
as,
get 1099?
actually I don't. Well, no, I do. I get, if I go through Google, I get them like, but if I'm going through like, let's say a partnership program, right?
Mm,
Like then I kind of have to add the money together myself and it becomes really fucking confusing.
yeah, and if you
Um,
don't carry the one the right way or something, then you're BF, screwed
oh,
over on taxes for
Oh
a
yeah, no.
mistake.
That's why
Yeah.
last year I didn't want to fuck around with it, right? I didn't want to fuck around with taxes last year. I'm like, I'm gonna go pay the damn money. So I went to H&R Block and I paid the money, and that was like $680 just to like file my taxes. And I'm like, oh jeez, and that did not include the amount of money I owed in taxes last year. Right now,
Yeah.
people always like to say, and I will be honest here, people always like to say YouTube is not a real job, right? YouTube is in no way a real job. You want to know how much money I paid out in taxes last year? And this is
If
legitimately
you
true.
want to disclose that, I'm not
Yeah,
asking.
I like to do people's reactions pretty goddamn funny. Um,
Wow.
$17,936 was my total
Wow.
tax bill to the United States government last year. Not a
Was that claiming single and one?
That was claiming single as working as a business and with write offs.
Damn. You
And
see,
I
like the work I do, I work a lot of overtime, so half my check sometimes is, I might work 84 hours. And so what a lot of the guys that we do, or a lot of the guys that do, is they claim married nine. And then at the end of the year, when they're doing their taxes, they'll do all their write-offs because you can claim travel. So like I'm from Louisiana, but sometimes I do jobs in California, Texas, Iowa, so you can write off all your mileage. You can write off all the tools and refineries. You have to wear certain clothing that's fire resistant. So you can write off all that. But when I went to do my taxes for year 2015 in Louisiana, we had a really bad flood. I got 9 feet of water in my house, and I lost all my stuff or whatever, all my information. And I went to H&R Block, you know, and because I didn't have any proof, they wouldn't let me write off any of this stuff, and so I ended up owing the IRS like $3,500.
Yeah, I was actually like I was anticipating the money that I had to pay out. Like I had already set that aside. So I was already like, okay, fine, that's like already gonna have to be a thing.
Yeah, you're
But
fiscally responsible a lot more than I am.
well, I was fiscally responsible from 2016. 2017, not so much. No, it's mostly because of like just the way things worked out and shit. It's a lot of mad scramble in the end, sort of thing.
Hmm.
Quite frankly, I'll tell you this: I am thankful to God or whomever for the Last Jedi being a piece of shit because that carried me over the end of the year. Right, that carried me to where I was good by the end of the year. In 2 weeks, I'm not even kidding you. In 2 weeks, that carried me. So it was fine. Like like the thing is, this is a job. Like I love what I do, and I talk about it all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
But it's that people always think like, oh, you just get all this money and you gotta get nothing back. I'm like, nah, man. Like I like to joke. I'm like how much did you make last year? Someone's like 13,000. I'm like, yeah, I paid out like way more than
Yeah.
that.
What's something I wanted to ask you because I do got to go to work in the morning. I just wanted, I brought up the Deadpool thing. I wanted to get your opinion on Deadpool.
Yeah.
So you saw it. Um, I think they kind of pushed. Now I keep seeing like from comic book websites and stuff like, oh, Deadpool is pansexual and this and all kind of that. And like I've read them all back from the early 90s. I've always been a really big Deadpool fan, and so I can understand the kind of humor, but I really feel like, I'm not saying they pushed a gay agenda, but I really think they kind of pushed um not gay jokes and stuff, but I think they kind of pushed it a little too much. I can understand the Negasonic Teenage Warrior, her being in a gay relationship, but the scene with Deadpool and Colossus and a couple other things, the previous one with the pegging, that was kind of funny, but it almost kind of seemed like it was a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it was meant to kind of showcase the absurdity of like what you're watching. It's like this is a comic book movie, and the main hero is getting a dildo in the ass. Okay, I'm in for some
So
shit.
I was
I'm
like,
in.
oh, they're just kind of pushing, whatever. But it
Yeah.
was
Well, I always
kind
kind of look at it like this: that the whole pansexuality thing of of the character. I think pan in general is just such a broadly defined term, right? Because the idea behind it is like you're attracted to anything, really. That's the whole idea about being pan. But pan is essentially now the new bisexual. It's a fancier way of saying to these people, the way that these people kind of portray it is that it's, like, oh, if you're a guy and you're pan, you love the dick. Like that's essentially what
of
they're attempting to say. In the case of, let's say, like Deadpool, like he jerks off to a unicorn, right? I mean, it's just kind of like he's just so out there. It's like so irreverent and zany and over the top. I do get what you're saying. Like the whole Colossus butt grab thing, I thought was pretty funny because Colossus
yeah.
is like, I'm just not gonna fight you on it,
Yeah. I mean, that's
like
something I fuck around with my friends do. There's times I'll fucking
yeah.
gradually, I'll slowly put my hand up to my friend's fucking wiener and, fuck with, just see kind of how far you go, just kind of joking
Well,
around.
it's a bonding. Believe it or not, it's actually like it's a bonding tactic, right? I mean, I've read one time, and I don't have all the data on this, but like Roman troops, Roman centurions were meant. We look back at that, and we think these guys were hardcore,
Oh
killing
yeah,
motherfuckers.
there's definitely a lot of butt fucking back then.
Yeah, there was a lot of it. They were sucking and fucking and jerking and all sorts of shit. And the thing is, it's a bonding grooming experience. Like I was watching this I think it was a Vice documentary about a Christian biker gang, right? And
Oh
like
wow.
and these guys are just like they're grooming each other. Like they're talking, and the guy walks up with a with like a comb and starts grooming the guy's beard, and it's a bonding technique. It's to
Literally
build
grooming. Okay, I get
literally,
it.
yeah, no, like
Literally
literally
grooming.
grooming him. Yeah, not like grooming him to be sold off to like priests or nothing, but it's yeah. I mean, so there's a factor there. It's kind of like you mess with your friends, you have that relationship. That's a bond that you've built, and I think in our Puritan society, because I think a lot of it comes down to the way that we view intimacy between men doesn't have to be sexual. Intimacy between men can be platonic. I mean, this is what they say. If you have a best friend, your best friend is like, you can have that same emotional connection, just not sexually,
Yeah.
completely platonic, that you
There's
would with your partner.
there's definitely times where I've gotten like jealous of my friends' wives and stuff. Like it's like, oh my, I get more jealous of like my friend's time than like because he has a wife or whatever. Then I have to realize, look, this person has a wife and kids. Me and my wife split up, so I've been single the past little bit, but I've definitely gotten jealous of my friends' wives. Not for anything sexual or anything, but just like I like hanging out with my homie. I like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. Like my girlfriend gives me shit because my best friend and I would hang out together all the time. But like when he was in a very like a long-term relationship, and she was very emotionally and somewhat physically abusive, and he finally got away from that. And him
Mm.
and I were hanging out all the time. Like we would we jump in his car 2 a.m. and like drive out to the mountains, gaze at the stars, watch for the
Right.
sunrise over the desert, like shit like that friends do. We hang out, like one time during the snowstorm, we took his fucking, his four-cylinder car into the mountains and found a little snowbank we could park off at, took beer out of his trunk and put it in the snow, let it cool down, and then smoked stogies and hung the fuck out. Like, got drunk, smoked cigars, and drove in the snow, like you do.
Yeah.
And this is California, and that's why it was so special. But it's like, when I got in my relationship with my girlfriend, he kind of, like I still tried including him in everything, but I think there was a little bit of, there was a little bit of that distancing there. And then I moved to LA and he stayed in San Diego, and there was like, a bit more of a split. So it's like, you have to really work at these things. They're not always going to be there forever. Him and I are still friends, but we don't talk as often as we used to. I haven't seen him in over a year and a half, and so it's or almost a year and a half. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes on there. So
Well, my best friend ended up marrying my ex-girlfriend from high school, so there's no the three of us hanging out. It's always, and then he always accuses me because we had slept together because we were like high school sweethearts or whatever. But he always wants to throw that in my face. Oh, you fucked my wife. Like he's saying it jokingly, but like I know
yeah,
it kind of like hurts him and stuff. But like anytime he would like hang out with me and might be, stay out late drinking or whatever, I was always I was hanging out with fucking Rizzo. I fucking, he would use me as excuse to when even if he wasn't hanging out with me, if he had just gone out and stayed late with somebody else, I was always his fall guy, so she hates my guts.
That happens. If it ever comes up with him, just go, hey man, how's my dick taste?
Yeah. I try not to be like that, but he's the first one to always bring it up. He's like,
no, it happens. It happens. And on that particular front, surprisingly with your friend, it's actually more of an insecurity issue than it is anything else. So it's kind of like maybe he's just been like, you want to compare notes about her vagina? I mean, like, because that could be that too. It's like, hey man, you fucked my wife. I fucked my wife. Are we like best friends now? Yep. Like, I mean, is that the way he wants to bond? But, you just, okay, here's how you test that. Okay. And I don't fully recommend this, but I'm going to give you the advice nonetheless, and then I'll let you go. Think about something specific on her body, like a birthmark, a freckle, a mole, something along those lines that she doesn't normally. Maybe she's got a little something that, she's embarrassed of, insecure of. You just kind of slide it into a conversation. Be like, one time we had, like, see kind of where it goes with that. Because
no, there's a perfect example, because man, if he hears this, he's going to fucking hate my guts. But I was sucking her titties one time, and I felt something poke me in my mouth, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was just like a thick pube kind of hair, but like growing out of her areola. And like I stopped and I looked up at her, and we looked at each other, and like I tell that she was something that she had shaved or like had plucked or whatever. And I'd never known a girl to have like thick, coarse hair grow out of her nipple. and it was a weird moment. But one time me and him were tripping on acid, and we got into a big fight, over her or whatever. And I was like, yeah, well, you know what, bitch, your fucking old lady has fucking hairy ass fucking nipples.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, definitely feel.
Yeah, no, I get it. And see, the thing, like that's the thing. You've got you've got hairy areola, right? And then you should just fucking find a way to like slide that into a conversation, like, oh hey, what's up, man? How's Harry Areola doing tonight? Something just to see what he does, because for the most part, I think it's gonna end up being like, he'll probably go like, yeah, you just see your pussy, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's like fucking poison ivy down there. It's just bush, nothing, bush for days. It's like Bush 2020, Jeb 1. The South has risen again. It's just nonstop, right? Real bad crab infestation, but I think that's because of the low tide. And I mean, just play it like that, you know what I mean? And I think you'll do pretty good. But I'm gonna
one more thing before I let you go. I wanted to ask: do you watch Murdoch?
I actually don't know who that is.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll send you. It's a alt-right propaganda web cartoon, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious. If you side with that or not, it's just
I'm not. I'll check it out. I'm not an alt-right fan by any stretch of the imagination.
You don't have to be, but it's funny. It's good, funny content or whatever. I sent it.
All right, man.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you go, man. I appreciate you. I gotta get some sleep. I really enjoyed the other morning. I woke up and you were in my Discord that I was in. And I was like super surprised. I told you, hey, I was a big fan. So I appreciate you for letting me having me on. I think love to talk to you again sometime, dog.
No, man, I'm here all the time, so feel free to come back.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks a lot, man. All right, nonpartisan. Gonna grab you. And there we go. Hey, what's going on, man?
Not bad. How are you, Matt?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Welcome back to...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no! Welcome back to Land of Streaming.
Yeah, I was going to say, congrats on getting your... Was it just removed, or did you actually go through and just run out of time?
No. It would have been 3 months, so it was definitely removed. I ended up getting this. So someone right now is legitimately going through nearly 5,000 videos, which I don't pity on it. I don't wish on anyone really. And they're trying to find any content they can of mine that is remotely sexual and trying to get my channel struck down. So
wow.
the likelihood of me getting another community guideline strike for something that I've said over the course of the past 6 years will probably fucking happen.
Yeah, the averages are pretty good, aren't they? With 6 years, how many videos you make?
Yeah, like $5,000, like 5,000 videos, and I swear all the fucking time, and I make cum jokes and things like that. So something might happen. It's not going to be as bad as bearing. People in the chat I've seen asking about the bearing thing. I covered it a little bit ago, but I heard he got hit with the whole CBD oil thing. YouTube
I think that's the general consensus at the moment, but I've tried looking at Sugar Tits' Twitter account, and she hasn't publicly stated why
Well,
yet.
I reached out to I reached out to Bering, you know, because we're pals, and I reached out to him, and I haven't heard anything back yet. So I'm pretty sure he is righteously angry, and I don't blame him one goddamn bit. But this is the thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, I tweeted at Tim Pool to let him know about the Bering situation, the CBD oil, and said you might want to take a look at some of your videos.
That's good. That's good. I like Tim Pool quite a bit. So, you know, it's the thing is though, it's like YouTube, what YouTube needs to do is like give you the opportunity to like remove them. You know what I mean? Before striking the channels down. But they're in this weird mode where they are just so desperately trying to keep everything from, you know,
it's a house of cards, and it's a house of cards, and you've got Wall Street Journal and other mainstream media coming through trying to knock out the bottom cards, and you've got YouTube frantically trying to prop the cards up in the way of advertisers, and it's just them pandering to the advertisers. That they just need to look. I'm not going to tell YouTube how to run their business, but they just need to grow a sack and just tell Wall Street Journal and other mainstream media to, you know, go away.
No, that's true, but unfortunately, it's kind of moved past that. So I think now they're still trying to like, they kind of, you know, shut it all down, right? And then they kind of rebuilt it, and it was working okay. And then we find out like, oh, the YouTube Kids app is showing like Alex Jones videos, right? For some reason, you know, I'm reading here that you know, Consumer Reports are saying that YouTube may be collecting data on your children. That's already been alleged and accused for quite some time. There's a lot of people are coming after it. It's just because it's the top dog. And so while YouTube does need to sit there and tell some of these people to straight sit and spin, fuck you, go away. No one wants you here. You know, that's the big problem with it now is that they're just not doing that because it's once the advertisers come in. So when the adpocalypse happened, 216 advertisers pulled out of Google.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Right. That's a lot. That was like the estimate I heard, and I have no way of knowing this is true, but the estimate I heard is that it was literally like $32 billion because it wasn't just YouTube. It was Google as well.
Yeah. Well, actually, here's an interesting thing. I was actually doing some research on this when it first happened, and trust me, I know what the ad apocalypse is. I had a video that went viral friggin' right after the ad apocalypse, and 100,000 views, and I got like 5 cents. It was ridiculous. But what I was going to say was the ad apocalypse is one part of it, but reports are also from, I think it was around China, that one of the biggest advertisers for YouTube, who does a lot of their sort of connecting advertisers to YouTube and stuff like that, and sort of like as a portal sort of thing, they got hit by this malicious malware virus that was going around encrypting data. So they basically lost everything. They lost all their client detail and everything because it was all encrypted. I'll try and find the link and I'll send it to you later. But yeah, people keep saying it's all about ad apocalypse, and that, which is, yes, a problem, but it's also this huge great big company that does all the advertising for YouTube basically got pineappled up the, you know what?
Oh, right. That was last June, I believe. I think I covered that. Because that was
I don't think they've come back. I think they're still being.
Okay, because there was a there was that big one, and like the thing is, I said like I think I called it like the Adpocalypse 2.0 or something, and I mentioned it because like no one else is talking about it, and even when it comes to the Adpocalypse itself, a lot of YouTubers aren't talking about it from like a research perspective. I mean, clearly they're upset and they have every right to be, but they're not like ever taking active steps to like draw attention to it to maybe put some pressure back on YouTube. Because when there's pressure on YouTube, they've responded a little bit. Like the pressure came back from creators, got us the, you know, the yellow demonetization sign, which is better than nothing in terms of just knowing what's going on. But I'll tell you this: here's been months and months and months, and my videos aren't getting hit as bad as they were in terms of the demonetization. But the ads are also not paying any kind of money.
Yeah, so there's seems to be 3 major problems with YouTube. So one is obviously the AI that was going through that was demonetizing all the videos, and yeah, that was insane when it first came out. Yes, it has been better over the past few months, and that's obviously great. But at the end of the day, yeah, that was 1/3 of the problem. The second problem I find is the actual ad revenue that they pay is just nothing. It's shit. It really is at the moment.
Yeah,
And
it really does require you to work basically like 7 days a week at it.
yeah, well, yeah, like I lost my monetization because I had under the threshold, but I've got it. Well, I'm getting it back now, hopefully. But yeah, but I was going to say, but before that, it was just, yeah, it was insane. And the third problem is this whole censoring people online, the censoring content, where you might still be monetized, but your videos they just don't seem to be getting notified. You know that at the end of the day, your subscription base just doesn't seem to be known that you got videos out. It's just weird how that.
Well, they just kind of said today about that too. They did a thing where they're recalibrating like your homepage. So they're not gonna they may not necessarily show you the newest video of someone you're subscribed to, but a video from them you may want to see. And it's like, and then the response back to that is no, we want this because we want to see this. Like, this is why we subscribe.
At the end of the day, if people have gone through and actually subscribed to a channel, they want to see the videos. That's why they've subscribed. Like, you know, as much as, well, you know, probably more than me, the amount of subscriptions that you get on a video is around 13, 20%, whatever it is, a certain percentage, right? It's a low percentage. So if you're getting that low percent to turn around and say, hey, yeah, I actually like your videos, I want to see more, then they actually want to see more of your videos. It's why they're subscribing.
It's very crazy. Like, you know, I look at cause I'll look at the analytics per video and like see how much money, you know, and like, it just all depends. Like, I got videos that will do, you know, 10,000 views. Like, I'm looking at one right here, 10,000 views. And for the last 2 days, it's literally, I'm not kidding you, it's made $5. And it's monetized. It's monetized $5.77. And it's a 13-minute video. It's got the pre-roll, the post-roll, and the mid-roll, which is kind of what you want to do, and $5.77, right?
Where
and
it used to be like $5 for 1,000 views.
It was never that high for me. I think the highest I ever got it was like $3 per 1,000, you know, and that's a lot of that was 2016 numbers. At the time, it's just where it is now is an entirely different place, which is really unfortunate. So
I was going to say, the reason I actually wanted to jump in, have you heard about Donald Trump and he can't block people on Twitter anymore?
I did. Did you happen to check my videos today?
I've checked some of them. I've only just woken up.
the Donald, I did talk about it. Yeah. So I'm actually like, and I'm not a Trump supporter. People know this about me, but I do not agree. I do not agree with that ruling. I think that it's saying that it's a violation of the people's First Amendment rights, is just ridiculous. It's a privately owned company. Nothing is stopping them from writing letters to the White House. Nothing is stopping them from contacting their congressman or represent, you know, whatever. Nothing is stopping them.
Out. They can sign out and still see
or signing out or starting a new account or like any other of the infinite possibilities. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And this is just.
But here's my question for you.
Yeah.
If this is stopping, then people are making links to this online now. People are starting to say, well, if Twitter can't, if Trump can't block people on Twitter, does that mean people like Steve Jobs? Who's the guy on the left that blocks everybody?
Steve Shives.
Steve Shives. Does that mean people like Steve Shives, who has blocked me, does that mean that he legally can't block me?
No, that's not the case. So this is where I've seen a lot of people like really just kind of, I think, mistake what is happening here. They say that they're trying to say that like Twitter has to like, you know, that that Twitter has to reinstate people like Milo Yiannopoulos, which is not true. They don't. What this refers to specifically is, and the judge had said that it was like it's like a very narrow slice of First Amendment here is what she's referring to. And she says essentially that it's because the president, you know, people have a right to formally, you know, push back against elected officials. And
But
that's, but I know this, but this is her reasoning. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with
No.
it. But it's like, this is the thing. And I'm like, okay, so here's, I think I did mention this towards like the end of the video, but I said like, I can understand it from the perspective of see, Trump doesn't use the app POTUS account. If he would use the app POTUS account and he used his personal and POTUS account simultaneously for different things, then I would say, you know, blocking on the Trump account, 100% no, you know, no problem. It's his personal, because the two are separate people, right? But because Trump uses his Twitter account to discuss policy and policy changes and where things are, it essentially becomes the particular mouthpiece of the president. And therefore, it may, at least according to this judge, fall under a different definition. And that is what I think they're trying to do. Again, I'm of the belief of this is like, you know, it was like 6 people, you know, like 6 people that were like part of this, like, you know, this First Amendment suit. And I'm like, look, if anything, and the joke I made was like, hey, if anything, use this as a way to get verified. Donald Trump blocked me. Get verified on Twitter. People accuse me of being the YouTube shooter. Can't get verified.
I was going to say, this is the interesting thing. Like, let's face it, we know why they're going through and they're trolling Trump. They're not doing it because they want to troll Trump. They're doing it because at the end of the day, a whole bunch of people hate watch his tweets. So if they go through and attack the president on his official Twitter account, on the active trending topics, thousands or millions or whatever it is of people are going to see that tweet. It's a way for them to woof whistle to say, hey, I'm part of the resistance, come and follow me. And you can see that people that have gone through and have done this, and who are the ones now complaining about the president blocking them, have had jumps in their followers. And it's like, yeah, you're using it for marketing. That's why they're crappy, and that's why they're pissed off at him, because Trump has blocked their marketing campaign. Well,
maybe
anyway.
It's possible, and I think again, like either way, I look at it more from the perspective of like, you know, get a life. I think is my general response to those people. It's like, this is not you being oppressed. No. This is a waste of government time. You know.
Yep.
But at the same time, if the Trump administration does not, what is it? If the Trump administration does not fight back against this, if the DOJ kind of keeps it, or DOJ stays with it, they might be able to use it as an argument against maybe a couple of things. It might be an ace in the hole for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, it also makes these 6 people that took him to court, that makes them look like a bunch of snowflakes. Like,
no, it really does. I don't know. Yeah. I don't quite know what their whole thing was. You know, it's not a First Amendment issue. No. It's just like the government's not stopping them from talking. I'm so frustrated at this. I don't think, okay, if they appeal it, and I do hope they appeal it, I hope it goes up to the Supreme Court. I hope it does, because the Supreme Court would look at this and just go, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you doing? And then that sets a precedent. Like, I wish Trump would not tweet as much as he does. I feel like it's very destructive, but he still has a right to do it. He still has a right to, you know, he has a right to, like, you know, to have a platform that he wants to have. And the platform, if he doesn't want you to read it, you don't have a right to that platform. It doesn't matter if you know, I mean, or I should say, okay. No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm in Australia, so there's a bit of a lag between us. But what I was going to say was, we know the reason why Trump goes through and tweets the way he does is he does it because he wants the left to, like, for example, he tweeted out criminal deep state last night, and every leftist on their frigging Twitter account was talking about the criminal deep state and trying to justify how it doesn't exist, to the point where I saw it, it was number 8 or 7 on trending. You literally had the criminal deep state trending on Twitter because he made one tweet about it and everybody lost their mind. Everybody went nuts. He does it because he's trolling them.
See, here's half the time. The other half of the time, I think he's literally just insane. I think no. He's not the brilliant maverick people make him out to be. Like, it's listening to the way he talks, listening to the way he is. There's no way that he is, you know, that he's like that. He's gotten very lucky in certain business endeavors. Absolutely. People didn't take him seriously when it came to the primaries here in the United States. And then they took him too seriously, like in the case of CNN, completely, not showing any Bernie Sanders speeches, but would then point a camera at an empty podium for a half hour for Donald Trump. Like even the CEO of CNN has been like, yeah, we probably gave him way too much coverage. So sorry,
I was going to say, but that was their plan. This is where the left fails so many times. And look, you know me, man, I'm a centrist. But I was going to say, but the left failed because their argument was that if we bolster up Trump, if we get Trump to run against Hillary, he will lose and Hillary will win. It'll be an easy win for us. The thing is that they underestimated him. Well,
no, it's not that they underestimated him. Let's not. I don't think that's the case at all. Okay, it's not that they underestimated him. It's that they overestimated her.
True,
and that's more of a fair statement, because if you look at the number breakdown, it really does boil down to 77,000 votes between 3 states: Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was probably going to go to Trump. That's how it was. Michigan and Wisconsin, Hillary didn't even fucking go there. You know what I mean? No. She was so confident she was going to win that she ended up really just alienating herself in all the polls. And the other part of it too was the left-leaning media telling everyone, oh, do you support Trump? You're a monster, right? Like all of that fucking chest beating over that. I lost friends on Facebook, people I've known for 20 plus years, unfriend me because I'm like, I don't think everyone who supports Trump is a fucking racist monster, no. And like they lose their shit at that. And then they go, you vote for Trump, and I'm all like, I was a Bernie supporter. I still am a Bernie supporter. Like
I'll try not to hold that against you.
That's fine. You don't have to. That's all good. It's all well and good. I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but I like what he was saying. Not everything, obviously, but like I like the idea of investing in human capital versus tax breaks. I mean, look at fucking Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson gets this tax break, ends up giving employees, I believe it was like an extra like $17 a paycheck. Right. And then close the plant, costing American jobs, move the plant to Mexico, and then use the excess money to basically give bonuses to their fucking shareholders or whatever.
I don't know about that situation per
se. That just happened.
Yeah.
That literally just happened like a couple days ago.
I'll have to look into that. But I was going to say a lot of these, and this is where I have a problem with the left-wing media. A lot of people are going through and blaming Trump for all these like Toys R Us and everything like that.
No. Trump's not Toys R Us. That's Bain Capital and the fact that they saddled that. Look, the piss. Okay, like I grew up, going to Toys R Us obviously, and the one that's like literally down the street from me is one that I went to as a kid, right? Mm-hmm. And so like the fact that the Bain Capital and like two other firms bought it. Right. And the store was profitable. Like you would not think that the store would be profitable, but it was fucking profitable. Here's the thing. Why are 800 stores closing worldwide on a profitable store? You know why? Because they saddled it. They saddled it with $5.3 billion in debt. It was completely, they dug it such a hole. It was never going to get out. And they ended up basically paying off their shareholders and everyone got fat, dumb, and rich off of it. And now it's costing Americans their jobs. Not just Americans, but people, like UK citizens as well, because there's still stores over there. And like England.
In Australia too.
In Australia. So worldwide, people are losing their jobs because this company came in, bought it, saddled it with so much debt that it could do nothing but sink. And then what they're going to do is they're just going to sell off whatever remainder is there. And they're going to basically file the bankruptcy on it. And they're going to end up being able to walk away with getting a lot of money. This is what I fucking hate about this type of capitalism is like, I'm pro-capitalist, right? I believe in capitalism, obviously, but I hate these companies that come in, buy up smaller businesses and then just run them out of business. We've seen this with Walmart, and then they get tax breaks to do it. They get tax breaks to take American jobs away.
It's like you're saying that the CEOs of these large corporations don't care about their employees and just want to make a quick buck.
Oh yeah, no, that's very fucking true. YouTube, obviously no, but it permeates itself across the board. Obviously, it's just frustrating to see because like you go to some of these smaller towns that 20, 30 years ago, they had a thriving local economy. They had these things, and it's like. You go and now their downtown section is just dried up. There's nothing there. Where I live in Olympia, Washington, West Olympia, dude, tons and tons and tons of empty businesses here. Tons. And this is an area that is supposedly going to increase by about 2 million people over the course of the next 10 years. And
but you must realize that Trump has done a lot for the economy.
well, I look at it. I don't fully agree with that because I feel like it's no. I'm going to say that the what I believe that he's done well for the economy has all been essentially upon promises, or at least the idea of such. And it all started with on election night when he won, and then the Dow shot up. But now, when every time he does something like this trade war with China, and he does something stupid, the Dow plummets like to record levels. So it's this constant up and down of these stockholders or these buyers that are looking at what Trump is doing, and they're trying to guess what he's going to do next in order to get money. But he's acting so erratically in some of these cases that they're causing them to lose faith. And if they lose faith in this administration and trying to repair the economy, those numbers are going to start dropping. They're not going to have as high peaks, be as record setting, and they're going to have a lot deeper lows, because what comes up must eventually come down. It's all based upon, like just where Trump is. And while it's been good in some cases, I'm not going to deny that. Long term, I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to last because there's no set plan,
Well, at the end of the day, the American and the world economy especially it will collapse one day. And you just look at the American deficit, the American debt at the moment. They're literally borrowing money to pay just the interest. The amount of money the American, and not just America, Australia, the UK, you look at these world debts that all these countries own, and there is no way this is sustainable. It is going to collapse one day.
Oh, no, absolutely. I just hope I'm long and dead.
Well, people have been claiming the end of the world for God knows when, and people have been saying it's all going to collapse for the past 10, 20 years. We don't know when it'll happen, but, at the end of the day, the way the US is going at the moment, and unless Trump, and I'm not saying it's Trump's fault, unless Trump does something to sort of turn it around, it will be sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, though, he talks about, like, that was a big thing too, because I probably should move on to other people, but like, this point out. There was like Carrier, that was a big thing. Carrier International, the air conditioner company, that he like, they were going to move a plant to Mexico, and I got them to keep like, I think it was like 1,100 jobs or something. That was a big thing right after he was elected, like that, keeping American jobs here. Like 6 months later, they moved 800 jobs in Mexico. Right. And so
I haven't heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. That was a big thing. Look up the whole Carrier situation. He starts talking about like coal. I'm bringing coal back. Coal's not coming back. It's just not. Like the people in the West Virginia that Trump had made all these promises to, the coal country people, the salt of the earth people, they're not getting. They're not getting at all what he was promising. And they look at like this opioid epidemic, and they haven't really touched upon that. There's a lot, like, I not everything that happens obviously is Trump's fault, nor does it fall within like his orbit, obviously. Like, and I don't like the media that's like, someone's like, oh, I stubbed my toe today, thanks Trump. Like, it's just that kind of hyperbole and partisan bullshit isn't helping. But at the same time, when we've got a president that, told the journalists during the campaign, I talk nothing but shit about the media, so when you print negative stories, no one believes you. That's somewhat frightening. You've got to. The matter is just,
but like you literally have like CNN, like was it last week? I believe it was early last week, mid last week, who literally went through and took what he said out of context regarding the animals at MS-13. Yeah, and that's. Don't get me wrong, there was definitely some stuff with that one, and then he did kind of double down on that, and like he's I think there's another comment he made. I got to go find it, but there's another comment that kind of echoed still the animals thing, and there was also like the African shithole country comment, like. But between you and me, let's face it, Africa, it is a shithole.
Well, Africa. Look, Africa. I'll put it. No. But this is truly legit. And then we have to end it. But this is truly legit. Africa right now, especially Nigeria. Everyone watch Nigeria. Nigeria right now has the largest pocket of untapped natural resources in the world. Is in Western Africa, And so that area, war-torn, disease-ridden, terrible shithole, is going to be where our next war is fought. Our next big world war will be fought there, because that is where we're going to need to try to obtain resources. And China already knew this, right? Remember the whole Coney 2012 thing? You remember that? Yeah. Okay. So Obama was like, I'm going to send 100 guys out to Africa, right? Sends out 100 people to like take a look at the situation, but they weren't really there to like take a look for Coney. They were there to really take a look around at what's available in terms of resources. And the Chinese government had already been purchasing up large swaths of land in Eastern Africa because they're getting ready for this land grab. They're getting ready to start, getting minerals and resources for their people. Africa is going to be, if the birth of civilization happened there, it could also be the death of civilization, because that's where things are going to go. And that's kind of where we are right now. Like, we need to, I personally believe we need to focus more on renewable energy. And this is why the whole coal situation was so fucking stupid. But Africa's a shithole. Sorry, get back on point. Africa's a shithole. A fair amount of Africa is a shithole. I think we can, but at the same time, it's like, that's where everyone's going to be going next. So I guess gentrification. As long as they don't shoot you. Well, no, because they're not going to really be able to shoot you, because they're going to be overpowered by traditional armed forces. The might of the United States government, I think, is going to come in there, and I have a feeling we're going to see something happen in Nigeria where it's going to end up becoming an occupation, very similar to Iraq and Afghanistan. And so I reckon it's going to be Syria or Iran. That's my prediction for next, is we're going to be going over there. They want to dethrone those guys. So I know they want to, but at the same time, it's like, be ready for World War Nigeria. I think it's going to be at some point. But it's sorry, maybe not next. I mean like next World War, not next conflict.
If we go sticking our collective noses in Iran, then Russia will pipe up, and China will pipe up, and then the US and Australia. That could actually lead us to a war, but hopefully we don't go there. I don't know, man. I want Trump to focus more at home. Focus on your home term. Focus on getting America, making America great, and forget these policies of proxy wars.
Well, no, I agree with you. And also I want him to tweet less. So that's what I want. I want him to stop talking. I want him to stop talking. It would just make, if he stopped talking, the left-leaning media would lose their fucking mind and maybe focus on actual goddamn things. Yeah, because Jake Tapper actually said that. He actually said that they will have a news story for that day, and then Trump will do something with Twitter that is like a policy issue, and they have to stop what they're doing and they have to cover that. And now, I believe that they should sit there and stop it and go like, maybe we shouldn't, have the entire news cycle dedicated to this. But it's this fucking game. It's this game. He'll wait. He will personally wait until like the start of the evening news shows and do something, I think, in order to dominate the cycle.
Yeah.
And it's just,
that's what I'm saying to you.
I get it. He trolls. I get it. He trolls.
Yeah.
He's trolling. I understand that. I completely understand that shit. But all right, we'll have to continue this conversation later. I do have people that are waiting to get in. So, but I appreciate you coming in, man. Have yourself a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for nonpartisan coming in. All right, Breadmaster PBJ. If I can go drag him in here. I pulled out on you.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Shit. I pulled you out.
Wait, you pulled me out? God, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't even buy you dinner first. I just pulled out.
Come on.
Well, you like PPJ. I'll send you a fucking sandwich.
The story of how I even got this name was just, it's dumb, because one night I was really fucking drunk, and I was changing my Xbox Live gamer tag. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I was hungry, and I'm like, I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I made it. It was fucking delicious. And what happened was, I'm like, fucking Rip Jam J, this is for you. And so that's how I got Breadmaster PBJ.
Nice.
It's the most retarded way to get a username ever, but it's stuck.
I stole Mundane Matt from somebody else. It was an insult that my friends had made for another guy named Matt.
I was gonna say he stole it from Ralph Retort.
No, that was just G Hardy Jarbo. That's I stole from them. But no, I'm serious. It's like there's this guy. His name is Matt. He's are we still friends on Facebook? I'm actually gonna. I don't even know anymore. But no, he. Yeah, you wouldn't know. Let's see. No. He unfriended me. I think this is him.
It's because you stole Mundane Matt.
No, it is him, and he's engaged, so his pickup artistry finally worked.
Oh shit.
But I think he kept the one who's our mutual friend. Oh, okay. Yeah. He got rid of everybody. Okay, cool. Good for him.
It's a toxic relationship.
It's nah, man. This guy, he's a nice guy. He was a wannabe pickup artist. I was hanging out with these other guys who did pickup artistry stuff. I was kind of shadowing them in order to learn the trade because I was writing a screenplay for them. So I had to like read like the mystery method and the game and all that shit, and see this in action. And so this was one of their buddies, and they always called him Mundane Matt because he couldn't score. He couldn't bring any chicks home. And then it was around like 2009, I think, right? Like I got home from seeing Paranormal Activity, and I'm like, I'm gonna do
which one?
The first one, the very first Paranormal Activity.
You mean the good one?
The good one, yeah. I actually liked the sequel, but the second one I liked. But no, I saw the first one, and it was shot in San Diego, right? So I live in San Diego, shot in San Diego, and I'm all like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm like, I want to talk about this movie. I'm gonna make a YouTube channel, and I go and I create this YouTube channel, and I'm like, I'm gonna call it Mundane Matt. Like I just needed a name, and that was that. And then I forgot about the fucking channel for like 3 years, almost.
And then Gamergate hit.
No. This is well before Gamergate. I was in Los Angeles. I was in we're talking like February 2012. Gamergate wasn't until August 2014. So I've been at this game for a while.
5 years before Gamergate.
No, it was this was a ways. And so, but the thing was when I was living in Los Angeles, I was really broke, and I'm like, man, I had friends who were fucking making money on YouTube, like paying their rent off of YouTube, and I'm like, how in the goddamn fuck do I fucking do that?
Oh, this is back in the days of the Wild Wild West. You literally to have ads on everything.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, this is like 2012, and the reason why I chose this account is this account was grandfathered into the partnership program. So I could
channels weren't getting fair use copy strikes.
Exactly. And so I was able to jump in on it and then go from there. Never fucking thought it would end up being anything. And here it is 6 years later, and it's like, this is my fucking name, right? Like I will go through life always being known as this. When I die, it will be on my fucking tombstone. I should probably just give my
Mundane Matt Jarbo.
I'll probably just end up having to give my child a surname of it,
No, just remember, your epitaph on your tombstone will be
turn off that pesky. Yep. That would be my epitaph. Absolutely. God. Absolutely. The stupidest shit. So anyway, man, what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about tonight?
Oh no! Before you pulled me in here, me, Porcelain, and who else was I talking with? NDO and King Numbers. We were talking about Infinity War and possible like what they're gonna do for the next movie and possible all that fun shit. Then we somehow got into Adam Warlock and the self-crucifixion shit in the comics, and just it went on from there.
Well, I don't think Adam Warlock is gonna pop into the next movie, but
I don't think they're saving him for Guardians 3.
Yeah, even though he was a cocoon in the other one, or in Guardians.
In Guardians 2.
No, he was in the post-credit scene in Thor: The Dark World. There was you see a cocoon as Lady Sif and what's his name end up going to the Collector.
And then you also see at the end of Guardians 2, one of the after credit scenes they got is the lady that is literally all gold. I can't remember her fucking name. They're just like, yeah, we've got this person. I call him Adam.
Yeah, that was kind of like the retcon of that.
That was the retcon. Just
That was the
kinda like,
retcon, yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Uh, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with it. Because obviously the next phase is all going cosmic, right? So
Yeah, which is gonna get a whole hell of a lot weirder.
oh yeah, well they're working on an Eternals movie. Like okay,
Oh no. I
right?
didn't
Like
know that.
but I have a feeling though that could ultimately backfire because people like grounded heroes. There's a reason why
Yeah.
Green Lantern didn't work as well as they wanted it to. And it's not specifically because it was Green Lantern and it just wasn't as good as it could have been. Even though it had a fantastic director and a good leading man. It was the fact that I think people are just like, when it comes to heroes, they like them grounded. They like them based in Earth. That way they can identify with them, you know?
Well, the thing is, I don't think people want to see Thanos going up against Eternity.
Nah,
That was
Thanos is gonna get his ass handed to him by a girl.
Yeah, you think that, and it's all set up to be that way, but then you realize he's already Farmer Thanos.
Yeah, I don't know what's well, I will say what I loved about Avengers Infinity War was that the Thanos was the main character.
Oh yeah,
And I thought that was
far
great
and
that
away,
they,
of course he was.
that they finally did that. 19 movies gave us a solid bad guy, made it all
And he was
about
the main
him,
character.
and he's like made the main character, and it worked out well, you know. Because here's the thing:
Yeah.
you go and you watch Avengers Infinity War, and you're like, yeah, man, Thanos was fucking cool, like above all else, like Thanos and Spider-Man.
Well, I
'Cause
still
Sp-
get to see Deadpool too, and I heard Josh Brolin's really good in that.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's fucking great, dude. I really
Just
liked.
remember, guys, Josh Brolin came from the Goonies.
He
Remember
did. He. Oh, I'm an Oregonian, born and raised, dude. So.
Oh wow.
Astoria is not too far away from where from where I grew up and shit like that. And
The
not
big
only
brother from Goonies annihilated half the universe.
he did, yeah, he really did. And it's just again, it's such a good movie. I thought Infinity War was such a good movie.
Yeah,
And
the biggest complaint I've ever heard from people like about it is that it jumps around too much. Well,
no,
if you read
no,
a comic book, in a comic book like line of like in the arc, it jumps around a lot if there's a lot of characters.
I don't
You ever
think
read
I don't think it jumped around. Like it jumped around, but it wasn't like
They stayed on stuff long enough where you got the point. Then it's like, okay, this is like a good like
yeah.
to be continued spot. Let's go on to the next thing.
Yeah, and then it always felt like it was kind of moving, and so like as long
It
as
was
you
still
wanted
moving.
you wanted to get back to your favorite scene. Like for me, my favorite scene was Spider-Man. Spider-Man, like Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. I thought those were like, I just that whole scene on the ship was fantastic with them.
You want to know what my favorite scene is? Just it's the weirdest one. My favorite scene is when Winter Soldier and Rocket have their little
Oh
meetup,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Rocket's
yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
gonna get that arm. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get that. It's like
How much for that?
It's literally Winter Soldier being Winter Soldier and Rocket being Rocket, and it is wonderful.
Yeah, that little fantastic that moment was great because it was yeah. How much for the gun? Not for sale. How much for the arm?
Just walks away. He's like, I'm gonna get that arm.
Oh no, well Rocket's good moment too with see people. I don't know if people here have seen it, so I don't want to like say anything. You know, people here haven't seen it because we still got about 100 people watching right now. So, and I will say this though, I really enjoyed Deadpool too. I thought they did a great job with it. I liked I watched it once and then I liked it, but then I watched it again and I liked it even more. So every time I end up watching Deadpool, I end up liking it more than the time before.
Because you see shit, it's like, wow, this is actually funny.
Well, no, I mean, for me, I feel like Deadpool 1 was actually a really well-made movie. And, you know, I thought they did a good job with the origin. And Deadpool 2, the whimsical side of it that would come from Tim Miller's directing was gone. Which, which is it's sad. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but I'm saying like the guy that you got to know, like
You're
because
supposed to take him more seriously this time around, I'm guessing.
yeah, and it works out really well, and they still have a lot of good jokes, and they make a lot of really good one-liners, and the whole thing was pretty fantastic. So I really liked it. Although was it Rattlesnake here says I was underwhelmed by Avengers. I got a 7 out of 10. But you internet fuckers overhyped it and sold me 150 out of 10.
I didn't sell anybody 150 out of 10. Fuck that guy.
I might have. Let's see here. Though on villains, Spider-Man: Homecoming had a good villain. That is true. Fucking Vulture
that
was
is
really
true.
good. Really enjoyed him.
No, like Michael, just because it's Michael Keaton, just for that sole fact, it's like good villain already. Don't care.
Yeah. I really
also-
enjoyed. Oh yeah, good.
Also, sorry, but before we keep, fridging. I believe it's a term that came from when Kylo Rayner who was the Green Lantern after Hal Jordan went off the fucking deep end in the comics, and basically killed the entire Green Lantern Corps, all that fun shit. Kylo Rayner, it's what happened when I think it was Major Force got a hold of his girlfriend at the time, literally took her body, broke all of her bones, and and stuffed her in a fucking refrigerator. That's where the term comes from.
No. Oh, I know where the term comes from. It's I think it's such a stupid.
For those of you that don't know, it's
yeah. Those of you that don't know that it's like ridiculously stupid and it's feminist and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's Kyle Rayner's girlfriend just got on the wrong end of a villain, and next thing you know, she's broken, and she's literally just broken and compact and just thrown into a refrigerator. And he finds her.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like I like the fucking stupid ass Bechdel test, right? Like it's
what's the Bechdel test?
Oh really? Oh wow, yeah. The Bechdel test is a thing where so so it's basically two women in a movie that know each other by name and aren't talking about a man. Or no, sorry, it's two named women in a movie, so their characters have names, and they're having a conversation that is not about a man. That's the Bechdel test. That's it. It is literally, and I mean this, it is literally a film classification in Sweden.
What the hell?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious. It's a film classification in Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why I don't watch Swedish movies?
This is no, it's they do it for even here, like the movies that come over from America and whatnot. Yeah. It's a thing. I mean, you'll see articles occasionally like, well,
it just seems like passes... a weird like why would you have to classify that?
It's activism and shit. It's just what they do. Instead of you gotta love it. Instead of like going out and writing, actual like solid stories themselves and getting those made, it's just complain. Like there's a comic called Lumberjanes, which is all I think female written and inked and everything. Or
Paul Bunyan, basically just female Paul Bunyan.
No. It's Lumberjanes.
Somebody make that story. I want to see how bad it turns out.
It's a comic book series. Okay, what does it do? It's all women. Let's see here. Okay, so it's the story follows a group of girls named Mal, Ripley, Molly, April, and Joe spending summer at scout camp, and the strange creatures and supernatural phenomenon they encounter there. Originally planned as an 8-part series, the comic was quickly made an ongoing series following strong critical acclaim. So it's they've done 50 issues so far.
Huh.
And
they also had 3 specials, huh?
Yeah,
I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
And they're also working. Well, they said three years ago, Fox said it was working on a live action adaptation.
Oh dear God!
So
that can go one of 2 ways.
Yeah.
There is no in between. There is no in between.
Probably not. There's not going to be. Well, the woman who's directing it. She co-wrote Pacific Rim Uprising, and she's working on. Oh, and she's co-writing Jurassic World 3, so I don't think she's gonna end up. The thing is, though, I don't know. I try to take things on a case-by-case basis. Like
the co-writing of Pacific Rim Uprising, that's the part that scares me.
I don't know. I haven't seen Pacific Rim Uprising yet. So
if you saw the first Pacific Rim, as far as I'm concerned, that movie had a lot of charm. It was good. Pacific Rim Uprising. It took all the charm of it being of what the first one had, and basically just ripped off its head and shit down its neck.
Oh, okay.
That was my takeaway from it.
I heard it had a Gundam. So
they're all in Gundams. That's what I originally thought it was. Like when Pacific Rim was first shown trailers, I'm like, oh, Gundam movie. No, Pacific Rim. Completely standalone story.
Yeah, I need to see it. I know it's right now it's the #1 most downloaded pirated or the #1 most downloaded movie on the torrents. So there's that.
Probably because
Um,
people they want to watch just see how bad it is, but they refuse to pay money for it.
exactly. Oh man, I should probably get on to the next person because I do need to wrap this up myself about the next probably 15, 20
All
minutes
right,
because I got to get to bed.
all
But
right.
I appreciate you coming in. We're gonna definitely do this
Thanks,
again.
man.
Everyone,
All right.
thanks for coming in. Bread or was it PJ Bread? Man, I can't see your
Just,
fucking
just call me Bread.
bread, not yeast, not yeast, but
Yes, not
bread.
yeast. Just call me Bread.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Have yourself a good one.
All right. See you later.
Thanks. So real quick, I did want to address some of these super chats I got. I'm sorry I missed them. Star Lord $2. What did I think of Happy Time Murders? He's referring to the trailer. The trailer for that is the Melissa McCarthy, with basically like a film noir version of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but with puppets. Looked pretty funny. The concept is fantastic. The trailer, okay, but then like they made like ejaculation joke with silly string, and it kind of took me out of it. This is the kind of story that, given the absurdity of it, I'd actually 100% love to see it played straight. That's one of the things that worked really well with, like, let's say Ghostbusters. It's like a workman comedy played entirely straight, but you laugh at the situations they find themselves in as they try to react as normal people would. That's what I like in my comedy, and this one basically turns it slapstick. My girlfriend was in the same boat. She watched it. She's like, oh, I love Melissa McCarthy. And then she's like, oh, God, it's slapstick. She's not a slapstick fan. But I'm still going to probably go check it out because, I really, really, really dig the concept. MC Whammer, $2 here, saying, you like boiled crawfish? Cooked right, it's bomb. I've never had crawfish specifically. I have had boiled crawdads, which I'm assuming are quite literally the same thing. Mine were freshwater, though, from the Pacific Northwest, where we would go to Lake Timothy, over there on Mount Hood, spend the day swimming, enjoying ourselves. The evenings in the hot tub my friends would bring, and then the night we'd go and find crawfish or crawdads, put them in traps, catch them, boil them, eat them with butter. Good shit. So all right, we're gonna bring in NDO 360. NDO, you are live.
Ah, hello.
How's it going?
It's going all right. Well, it's like almost 3 in the morning, but I'm glad to be a part of the stream.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
Well, I haven't seen your thing in a while, and I've noticed that all the videos have rustled in the bottom left. So I was like, oh, so do you like doing one long live stream and you go back and edit it? Is that what you've been doing recently?
I was, and then I just got lazy, and then like I've been really, really, really stupid about my channel this last month, so nothing is like really like on point anymore. So I need to get back on track, get back on schedule. So yeah, what I was doing is I was doing like a stream every night, like kind of like this, except you'd see my face, and I would talk. I would kind of record the stories for the next day, right? And I would do those, and then I'd be able to section them out, and then people who wanted to watch live would be able to see it, so on and so forth. The problem is the way YouTube handles the algorithm is that if I post a 2-hour video on my channel and people don't watch it, YouTube then tells its system, its algorithm, that people aren't watching videos on my channel, therefore don't recommend my videos to new people, or don't show them to my fucking audience. So, if you're not consistent, it can really kind of screw things over. That's kind of where things are right now.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask, like, when you did that old system of live and then splicing and then all that, was the editing like harder, easier, like since you didn't have the protection of post to where you can like edit out and post since you're doing it live?
I ended up, no, it's basically about the same because I wouldn't have the ability to do it, to do editing live, but I did buy an Elgato Stream Deck, which allows me to kind of like, to build the decks and then to have the buttons right here. So when I want to like switch to a different scene, I can do it live, which I think is pretty cool if I'm trying to like do something a little bit crazy or something. That gives it an interesting basically like an in-camera effect that allows me to not worry about it when it comes to the editing. The longest part on the editing really boils down to this. So I finished recording, I'll have my bulk videos done, and then I got to go through and I got to like clip them out, fix any problems that might have happened, build up those individual, files for a batch production, export those videos, which would take probably about maybe 30 minutes to export the 3, upload those videos, which would take however long. And in the process of that, do the thumbnails, do the titles, do the descriptions, and do the tags. So it's the process of editing is relatively simple. It's when you get into the finer points of creating the metadata and making sure the thumbnail looks okay and other things are looking okay. That's where it starts taking a lot of time. And then you do that with like 3 videos on just this channel. And then however many I do on $3 Theater, there's a lot of my day is spent kind of going back and forth trying to get the right, make sure everything looks and sounds good and then is able to be uploaded well.
Nice. Yeah, I really like $3 Theater. I was so glad when you mentioned it in one of your videos. Like, oh, I have another channel, $3 Theater. It's like, oh, what's this? Like, oh, wow, I'm a movie nerd. Yay.
Yeah, I really like it too. It's I want to start doing streams with that in the morning, because I'm trying to change my sleeping schedule a little bit more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how even having like movie discussions with other people, like sort of like about certain movies that you've seen and stuff.
Okay, so imagine this particular scenario, like this kind of getting people to come on and whatnot. I want to start doing this for that, but I want to call it like it came from Netflix, since a lot of people have Netflix, and so it's like, let's just pick a random movie, probably something that's more of like maybe a Netflix original sort of thing. And then watch it, put the announcement out like Monday. Okay, so this week we're watching this, and then at Friday at whatever time I do a live stream. I tell people to get to the Discord, and we're gonna talk about the finer points of this movie or this TV show or this series or whatever, and then have a discussion about that for kind of getting people involved.
Yeah, when you said it came from Netflix, I immediately pictured like a photoshopped version of The Thing, except with its head being a Netflix logo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, there is one thing I did want to talk about. Like, I didn't see it on your channel, and I thought it was very interesting. You may have either mentioned this in a live stream or something, but did you at all hear about what happened with Jordan Peterson with the NBC interview thing?
No, I've never fully covered Jordan Peterson. I've never covered him. I've never read one of his books. I know I might have covered him when he did the whole situation at the University of Toronto a couple years ago.
I think you did.
I think I did, yeah. But since then, here's the thing. The truth of the matter is, I don't really know what to make of him, good or bad. I just don't know. Like, all I see is this like cult of personality that surrounds him. Again, good or bad. If you like Peterson, you're an asshole. You're whatever. If you don't like Peterson, you're an asshole or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know where to go into this, and then I should probably sit down and just read his fucking book.
Yeah, I haven't read the book, but I heard it was good. But there is one thing that I thought you would either touch on if you ever end up looking into it, and I thought you were going to do something like how not to be a journalist, like how not to do this, because they did like a segment in NBC, something like that, MSNBC. And the video was heavily edited, and they framed him as an alt-right. But when you look at the extended version, you can tell that they completely took his stuff out of context, or like they completely spliced certain parts of the video, making him seem worse than making him out worser to the audience.
Yeah, I've seen.
And I think that would have been very interesting if you like say, bleh. I thought it'd be interesting with your take, like to go over like the video, like say, as you can see, it was edited here and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really dove into that sort of thing. It's not out of the question, obviously. I don't know. I didn't know about that particular story. I know, but NBC, when it comes to how they handle, what's I want to say here? How they handle some of their digital pieces. The people who run that are very, very, very left-leaning. And when they did that piece about like Discord and like that, it's basically just like a hub of alt-right. And it's like, don't get me wrong, there are people who have been on Discord who are clearly members of like the alt-right, and was it Adam Waffen, whatever, that one like neo-Nazi group that was trying to recruit and everything else. Like, I get that. There are people out there, but it's not everyone. Like you and I, we're talking through Discord right now. I'm on Discord all the time. I think it's a fantastic service. I love it. It's got problems, but if you just kind of watch your ass, which I made a mistake and didn't watch my ass and ended up in a conversation that we got fucking leaked out there. So, you know, like, you got to be careful with that kind of crap. But that's not on Discord. That's just some person being a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would you? Why? When I saw that, I was like, you're like blaming people who are hijacking the service and calling the service bad. Why not blame the hijackers?
Yeah, it's
In
just,
that
it's
sense.
where we are right now with a lot of stupid shit.
Well, anyway, now this is gonna be a very throwback reference. But when I first saw this live stream, I saw the skull. I was like, is he gonna finally animate the skull again for a video like this?
I hold. Let me.
I remember like your graphic card got fried or something.
No, it wasn't my graphics card. It was when I upgraded from Windows 10 to or Windows 7 to Windows 10. The program worked on Windows 7. It does not work on Windows 10.
Is that still the case?
I don't know. Let me take a look here. I'm also trying to remember the name of the program.
Yeah, because it'll be a nice visual for people who are watching the live stream to see a talking skull.
Well, I can't. Doing it live though. Doing it live would require me to go and get. It's a program on Steam. Yeah. But then I'd have to pay somebody to design the skull to be able to like work with the webcam.
Oh yeah.
So what I did before that was literally hold on, animate. I gotta remember this shit here. Animate logo. What is it called? Let me check my email. Let's see. I don't remember. It's been so long. It's been like 3 years, right? Because I got doxxed. It's been like 3 fucking years.
That was like before you got doxxed or a little before all that.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm trying to go through my email real quick to like run back to like 2015. Give me a second here. I do not remember the name of the damn thing. Hold on. Animation program starts with C? I want to say it starts with C. Oh, jeez, I don't remember. Oh god, I wish I feel bad now because I get asked about that talking skull all the fucking time, and I just don't.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone with that Steam program actually made a fan-made Mundane Matt logo thing.
Oh, Crazy Talk. Crazy Talk. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me take it. Oh, they updated it with Crazy Talk. Crazy Talk 8 is what. Okay, Face Rig would be the one that I would need in order to do that. That came from Wizard of Cause, who sent me a message on Skype saying Face Rig. So okay, Crazy Talk 8 is what they're doing now. What are the I guess I could upgrade it or some shit. I guess I could bring it back. The thing is, it's really, really, really resource intensive, and that was a big problem with Crazy Talk. The last one I used, which was I could only do like 10-minute clips. So if I had like a video longer than 10 minutes, I'd have to basically do 2 renders and then edit them together.
Ah, okay.
And like that shit fucking, again, like it would take like, we're talking like 25-30 minutes to render out just one video. So when I went to go edit it, or, you know, if I'm doing 3 videos a day or whatever, it'd take like about an hour and a half. So I'm sure maybe now it'd be a little bit better because I'm running like a lot better software or hardware than last time. But I don't know.
And lastly, the last point, did you, like me, when you heard about the Trump constitutional gaffe, did you think it was an Onion article or something at first?
No, I'd heard about it, and I was not expecting that to be the response or the judgment. I thought it was really going to end up just being like something else entirely. You know, I thought they were gonna be like, nope, First Amendment protected, and then I'm like, wow, this judge sucks.
Now I'm intrigued to see if that. So that was a federal court, right?
That was a federal judge in New York, yeah.
And the only way up from there is the Supreme Court.
It could go through a few more, I think, appellate courts, and then it could go to the Supreme Court. Which part of me wants it to go to the Supreme Court just to strike it down?
Me too. Yeah, I want to do that. I'm gonna watch it burn.
And I'm not even like a freaking Trump fan, and I want to see that happen. So that goes to show you how much I like the First Amendment. But okay, man, I'm gonna get King Numbers in here as being the last one for the night.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope I can catch your next stream.
Yeah, no, I'll be around. Thank you very much, man.
Peace.
Have a good one. All right, so finally tonight, guys, we're gonna bring in King Numbers and do all that. Oops, oh, drop him in there. There we go. All right. Hey, what's going on, King? How are you, man?
Oh, hello. Sorry, we were just talking about Medicare.
Shh. Someone could be recording.
Yeah.
Someone could be recording it. I should know.
What, did I think Medicare is a cock or something?
Your words. Your words, sir. Your words.
I know.
Your words.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, hey, so what's on your mind tonight, man?
Let's see. I did post some interesting news articles. We can go over real quick. There's apparently 3 people with Ebola escaped the quarantine in the Congo.
Nice. I mean, well, not really, but at the same time, it's like, is it like super Ebola? Is it give them like mutant powers?
No, it's just normal Ebola. But a bit above that, I posted it about 10, almost about 11. It's an image of talking about either something about meeting up at the table with North Korea or a nuclear showdown, and the image looks like Donald Trump is trying to be Kim Jong-un, or it's the other way around, just by their postures.
I don't know. Where did you post that? Did you post it in the news section of the Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go take a look at that. All right. Let's see. Okay, 3 Ebola patients, giant predatory worms. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's creepy as fuck, dude. It's a hammerhead worm that also looks like it would just get like stuck in your urethra.
Yeah.
That's frightening. Okay, North Korea says it's up to Trump whether they meet the table or nuclear showdown. I don't think North Korea, like the thing is, North Korea is gonna rattle its saber, but eventually they're gonna come to the table because they have no choice.
China, I think, is starting to finally abandon them. I think they're realizing we can get a better deal elsewhere.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I feel like it's just posturing, you know. And this is a goddamn long ass article. So yeah, I think that's I don't know. They're gonna put it on Trump because that's gonna be good optics for them.
Yeah.
And so that's ultimately what it boils down to is, you know, they're gonna kind of play the victim a little bit here. Well, we want to meet, but you know, Bolton's out there talking about the Libya plan, the Libya method, which like really was the stupidest thing to say.
What? Let an entire embassy get attacked and then blame it on someone else.
And then we'll drag Gaddafi's body through the street.
Yeah.
So and then
dig it back up and drag it across the street in North Korea.
Yeah, I think Kim Jong-un might be like, say what now? Like, this is a dumb thing.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately what it boils down to is, you know, Kim Jong-un wants this to happen, but he also has to he still has to maintain some level of power and control over his citizens, because he knows that his days are numbered if he doesn't basically adopt some form of capitalism. And so they want this deal to happen because he has to. But he still has to also make it look like, you know, he's in control. And if he at any point in time loses that, then he's going to find himself in a situation where it may not bode well for him.
Yep, I found the best title so far for an article. Uber said it's bringing self-driving cars back to Pittsburgh. Mayor does a spit take.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of driverless cars.
Neither do I. As long as there's someone there to help control it. Here, I'm just going to post the article in the news.
Well, even when there was a person there to control it, they still kill somebody.
Yeah.
Because
They're idiots.
Because it's just like, you know, I don't know. I personally am not 100% on board with driverless cars. And I remember when I was younger and I would read Boy's Life, the Scouts magazine, and they had a thing on there. It's talking about driverless cars, and you could sit in there and play chess. You could hear that. Well, you know, ultimately you sit there and you're just like, I probably would sit there and watch movies, play video games, or just masturbate excessively.
Okay, that link did not display the article. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. Like, Discord has been acting kind of weird lately with some links.
Yeah, they've been a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But okay, I think there's one more person in the chat that's been there for a while. It's the it's Tony.
Just go ahead and switch us now.
All right, man. I will talk to you later. Thanks for coming in, King Numbers, and we'll talk soon. Hey, what's going on, Tony? You're my last call for the night.
Hey, Matt.
So make it fucking good. Make it good.
All right.
No pressure. No pressure. Maybe a little bit of pressure.
Anyway, what I want to talk about real quick is one of the guys that you were talking to previously, you know, the Australian dude and all that. We were all talking about like Donald Trump and all that.
Yeah.
And this is something I'm still trying to figure out. I just want to opinion and all that, just to get some insight. Shitty things have been and all that. You give people benefit of the doubt as to why some people may pull for him, and not all of them are dirtbags, of course.
No.
Even now, he still has this like base that will never leave him, no matter what. I have to wonder, why do they support the person shitty he is?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit on my end. Why do I support the person? What?
Why do people support the person, never mind how shitty he is?
Oh, well, okay, so this is probably going to anger some conservatives that are listening, but conservatives and even Democrats will vote against their better interests, right? And what it boils down to, especially when it comes to conservatives, is this idea of wealth and prosperity, right? Conservatives will tell you, they'll sing you that song and dance all the time. They'll tell you, if you vote for me, one day you will be like me. All while the income inequality, you know, shows us that that's not, the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, right? And the middle class is sinking right along with it. And as a result of that, people keep voting Republican, thinking, oh, well, we need to keep giving these people, you know, giving them tax breaks and giving them all these things. That's going to make it so jobs come back. But then as we learn that with these tax breaks, they go and they buy up other businesses and they basically saddle them with debt and they close them down or they turn a profit, therefore costing Americans jobs. And where do those Americans go? They go to places like Walmart that get you in because it's easy work. They pay you shit and they cut your hours down to less than 40, so you get like maybe 32 hours a week, so you can't get health care. So then you got to go on government, you know, you got to go on government support to get something, and it ends up costing taxpayers more money. So that's part of the problem, is that people in this country, they keep voting against, you know, the better. I'm not saying don't vote conservative, don't vote, you know, whatever. But look at who these people are. Look at who is backing them. Look at who is paying their way. And that's the biggest problem I have with Trump is, you know, people think, oh, no one can buy him. And that's not true. People can buy him if he gets what he wants. You know, if he never divested from his company like he said he was going to. You know, he's tried publicly benefiting Ivanka's company when the whole Macy's pullout happened, or Nordstrom's pullout, I forget which one. You know, like there's ethical things that he has done and is still doing that is going to keep getting him in trouble. But the thing is that the people who support him, his base, they don't watch any of the news that's going to be critical of Trump. And it's not just like, you know, MSNBC or CNN. We're talking like Fox News, like Shep Smith. You know, 4 p.m. Shep Smith is like the most liberal person on Fox News, but he criticizes Trump. Brett Baer criticized Trump. The thing is, the base needs to know what's going on so they can hold them accountable. But the media that they consume is not showing them what's going on. So they think in many cases, Trump is just being attacked by the liberals, attacked by the left, without ever really, I think, seeing the context of what the arguments are.
In other words, they could be in denial about what's really going on.
Yeah, but then again, a lot of people are in denial for what's going on. So it's not just the right. But I would argue that in many cases, studies have proved time and time again that the right is people on the right, people who watch Fox News are traditionally far more, ill-educated on certain issues than people who watch MSNBC or CNN. Because Fox, their nighttime lineup stuff is not really journalism. It's all punditry. That's all it is. It's all just punditry. And they play it off as it's being objective truth when it's subjective noise, really. And, but then again, the problem with it is that the left is that they're fucking smug. They're smug. And that turns off people from the right from coming over to their side. And the gentleman in the chat is like, the U.S. liberals are brain dead. No, not really. There are some, absolutely, but, it's just partisanship. The left, right, red, blue. It keeps us separated instead of realizing that both parties have a lot of shitty things going on with them. So yeah, that's kind of the way I take it.
Because with me, I'm the only one in my household who did not vote for Trump. With me, I pulled for Gary Johnson and all that. But I'm completely baffled as to see what's going on. Why? Why do you? And it can be kind of frustrating as to try to explain things to people, and they're like,
Well, the thing is, I'm not a fan of Trump, and I make this statement publicly quite often. But I also don't look at the guy like he's some, hedonistic monster that's hell-bent on destroying this country. He's got a vision, so to speak, for what he wants. But I think it only benefits him and his group. I don't think it benefits the average everyday American. And I think that the people who support him, who think that he is going to, be the second coming of Reagan, and bring more trickle down economics, which we've learned over 30 years never worked, that it's going to further cause a divide. And what we need to do, I think, in this country is start reinvesting, into human capital, in terms of better education, and that will bring about better educated people will accomplish better things. They'll be able to go out there and have an understanding and knowledge and know-how about how to to better adapt or create or whatever. And I think that we just don't see. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of not getting a lot of that anymore. I think people are just getting stupider.
I think his hatred of Obama has a lot to do with why he's doing what he's doing.
There's a lot of that too. I mean, it's because that was the whole thing too. The thing is, Obama wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and he did leave behind people in the states like West Virginia. These people that grew up with industry and they grew up with the coal and everything else. Obama wanted to move away from that, get into solar, get into renewable energy. And I don't think he conveyed it well enough to those states. And the thing is, no president is ever going to be 100% truthful in that. But this is not, Trump isn't responsible for the hatred of Obama. Fox News is predominantly, right? Like with Glenn Beck every day for a while making his ludicrous statements. you know, making his false accusations and then saying, well, if it's not true, you can call in the number right now and explain yourself. And then he'd look at the phone and the phone would never ring. And he's like, well, see, it must be true because they're not calling in to defend themselves. And that would be his stick. That would be his thing. And that helped lead the Tea Party. And the Tea Party got a lot bigger and got into office. And then they fucked a lot of things up because these people don't know what they're doing. And it just caused a further divide.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just there. But the thing is, no president is perfect. No president's ever going to be perfect. And everyone makes mistakes. Like, people say here Obama was too much of a race baiter. I don't say he's a race baiter, but he definitely played the card a couple times in a very ineffective way. And did a lot to actually bring about further divide based on some of the comments that he made, and comments that he, like the Trayvon Martin comment that he admitted that he shouldn't have said. And that becomes this whole fuck situation. I just feel like everyone should make me president and we'd be fine. Hand jobs for everybody. That's my platform.
Exactly, huh?
But yeah, man, on that note, I'm gonna definitely wrap this up. I do appreciate you coming in, and we'll definitely do this again soon.
Look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks very much, man. Have yourself a great night, Tony, and see you later. All right, guys. So I've been on for about 2 hours and like 6 minutes, a lot longer than I thought I was gonna be on tonight. And I really appreciate everyone who came in and everyone who chatted and everyone who's engaged. These are a lot of fun. These kind of these random hangouts and catch up with everybody and shit. No agenda, no reading news stories, just talking, having a grand old time. But on that note, I'm going to go pass the fuck out because I got to be up in the morning in order to do $3 Theater stream, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard, and over on youtube.com/$3 Theater. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Remember, if you want to jump in on the action 24/7, the Discord, discord.me/Mundane Matt. Peace out, everyone. Have yourself a great night, and talk to you soon.